Greetings to all of our change makers, and welcome to another amazing interview with another amazing change maker. We've been having fun all over the planet with some amazing people, and today I'm very fortunate to have as our guest Miss Maryann Hesse. So, welcome, and please tell people a little bit about you and what you do.
Well, thank you, Cheyenne. Thank you for having me here. And I am someone who grew up in the Midwest in Iowa. And it was one of those things where, the Midwestern values are that you honor your father and mother, right? So I was very much a good girl and gave my power away to my mother exclusively, which was something that would perpetuate through the decades to my detriment.
Mm,
So I am someone who finally is able to be in their own power and be who I truly be after a very curvy journey. And I'm very blessed by the mentors that have assisted me along the way. So I'm here to help women really own their power, not power over anyone, but
right.
be in their power, aligned with who they truly be, to fully give their gifts. So that at the end of their life, they slide into home base fully spent, you know, the music isn't left in them.
That's it. That's it. Wow. Well, and it is amazing the number of women that I talk to, and even my own story. We tend to get some really interesting lessons from our mothers, don't we?
Yes, interesting is the operative word there.
Absolutely, absolutely. Wow. Well, please tell everybody a little bit in detail about some of the things that you do, and if there was a story back there beyond just what happened with mom that kind of led you to, oh my gosh, I need to change direction.
Yes, there was one of those wake up moments. I've had more than one, but there have been some significant ones.
Mm,
The first significant one occurred when I moved from Iowa to Tucson, Arizona, right after I got a divorce and had quit my teaching job. I was a high school business teacher for over a decade,
mm,
and I wanted to start a new life. And one morning I woke up and I literally could not stand upright. I had to
mm,
crawl.
oh my.
And as I was crawling on the floor, luckily I had done a lot of networking, and someone that I had been networking with just happened to call me that right then. And I said, this is what's going on. She says, I'll be right there. And she muscle tested me for 5 years, 3 times a day, to assist me to get back to homeostasis. And that's the only reason I'm alive. It was like the universe slapped me to the ground and said, you either listen up or you leave the planet, because my organs were shutting down and Western
Wow.
medicine didn't know what to do with me. So it was like, okay, I'm listening. And that was the beginning of my spiritual journey as well as my health journey, because during those 5 years, I studied nutrition and I became a personal fitness trainer. I was introduced to the world of energetic healing, became a Reiki master at that point. And then those areas have blossomed and expanded through the rest of my life. That was kind of the foundation for everything that I do, because I'm a holistic, lifelong vibrancy mentor.
Wow, that's quite a title. Holy cow.
Well, to describe it, how do you describe that? And so that's what I came up with.
I love it. I know I had to make up my own titles. Sometimes we just have too much. We're all trying to cram under that umbrella.
And I don't
Oh,
like titles, but people need to get a sense of, well, what arena are you in, right?
right, right.
Yeah.
How can they possibly know whether they need you or not if you don't?
Exactly.
Oh my goodness. So yes, you've had some of the two by four experiences. I understand those. I've had quite a few myself. So it's all good though, right? I mean, you've had the opportunity to not only go through some amazing training from some of the things you've told me about previously, but also to be able to utilize that for levels of empowerment that I'm not even sure a lot of women are aware of. I mean, do you have any stories you can share that can kind of help people to understand a little more in detail what you are capable of doing?
Well, in the empowerment arena, that was the biggie. Well, they're both big. You have to have your health or you can't do anything.
True.
So, that was a whole learning. And there's always a gift in everything. I truly believe there's always a gift in everything. As you're going through it, it may not feel like it, but there is a gift in there. And as I mentioned before, I had given my power away to my mother early on in my life.
Mhm.
And so I was continued to give my power away to just about everybody, my
Mm.
intimate relationships, my husband, all these, various places and whatever, which led to my health, you know, not being able to get up.
Wow.
So, what I have gone through and come to eventually is to be able to embody my feminine essence and
Mm.
really stand in my power in a way that's unshakable. And
Mm.
when you do that, you're unstoppable
Wow.
and you're
Wow.
totally aligned. You're just totally aligned with whatever your belief may be of the greater, could be universe, source, God, whatever your belief might be, but you're totally aligned in that. And
Mm.
when you're aligned in that, you're in a deep peace. And from there, you speak, you act, you carry out your work. And it has a wonderful ripple effect on anyone you come in contact with.
Hmm. Wow. How for some of the folks that I know are in my group, I'm not even sure they would totally understand. Can you describe a little bit more about what you mean when you're talking about that feminine essence?
Well, how about if we do a little demonstration?
Well, why not?
Because it's an energetic kind of thing that you can't really describe.
Mm,
You have to experience it because you are going to be embodying it.
okay.
So, I don't know if you're sitting or standing.
I'm sitting.
Okay. Is it possible for you to stand up?
You're not going to be able to see me.
You can't turn the camera a little bit or whatever?
Maybe this will be interesting. Let me see what happens. I feel like I should have some background music while I'm
Nope,
moving
nope.
around here.
Doot, 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 doot.
Exactly. Okay, I'm standing.
Okay. So, most of the time, people are walking around in their head, you
Mhm.
know, and that's where they reference everything. And you may or may not be remembering cartoons. We used to have printed cartoons.
Mm,
And you would see this bubble come out of the character's mouth. Is that what they're supposed to be saying?
right.
So I'm just going to invite you. We're going to do a little experiment here. I'm just going to invite you to bring all of your thoughts up into your head or even out into a bubble so that
Mm.
you're just really in your head. I'm not going to leave you there, but but
I
just
hope not.
be there. Yeah, no, no. But just be there in that space. And if anybody is listening to this, you can do this along with Cheyenne. And if you have trouble getting there, just start worrying about something. Again, I'm not going to leave you there, but it gets you right there. So you're in that head. There's the to do list and then this and then, what about this and what about that? So just let me know when you're in that.
I don't live there much these days, so I'm working at it. But I think I got it. I have something that's causing me concern right now, so we'll
Okay.
go with that.
So you just want to be in that, in your head, basically, or even outside of your head a little bit. Okay. Now I'm going to invite you from that space to just tell me for a few seconds here, just maybe 30 seconds or so, how your day's been so far.
How have my days been so far?
Mhm.
From that space.
Yeah, from that space.
Well, there's lots of to-do lists and there's lots of things to put pieces and puzzles together. And there's lots of stuff that I work on that, requires me to build websites and create social media posts and just all of those things where, you're in your head a lot, you're thinking, you're constantly working on, okay, check that to do off. What's the next thing?
Right. Okay, wonderful. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. Now I'm going to invite you to close your eyes and bring your attention down. First of all, let's just breathe for a moment and just bring your attention to your in breath and your out breath. You don't have to change the rhythm or anything, but just notice the in breath and the out breath. And as you notice the in breath and the out breath, you may notice that you're more inside your body. And for extra measure, just bring your attention to your heart space in the center of your chest, not just the front, but in the center of your chest. And just breathe into your heart space. And notice your heartbeat as you're breathing in and out. And as you're breathing into that heart space, bring to your awareness someone or something that you love unconditionally. Could be a person, could be an animal. They could be on the planet or not, does not matter. Just bring to mind someone or something, could be an animal, that you love unconditionally. As you're breathing into your heart space, you're with the energy of that person or could be animal that you love unconditionally, and you're feeling the unconditional love as you breathe in and out. It just feels good. You might even feel the body relax a little bit. You might feel a little more warmth in the body. Just breathing in that unconditional love. You're breathing it into your heart. Now I'm going to invite you to drop your attention down into your power center, which is for women 3 to 4 inches below the belly button. So you breathe down into the pelvic bowl. For women, this technically is the womb space. We sometimes call it the dantian in some cultures. It's called the hara in some cultures. But breathe into your power center. Breathe into that. You might want to imagine a point of light there if you wish. And you can breathe into that. So as you're breathing into this space, allow your breath to fill that pelvic bowl. You're breathing into your power center, allowing the breath to fill the pelvic bowl. And as you're breathing and filling that, allow some of that energy to go down your legs, down through your feet, down through the floor, and then down through however many layers of whatever structure you're in, into the earth, a good 20, 30 feet. So you're really grounded. You're bringing this energy into the earth. So you're very grounded. And then bring full attention back to your power center, breathing into that center. Notice how you're feeling as you're breathing into that center. And try to be in that center as much as you possibly can. Just be in that power center. As women, we know this is a divine connection because miracles are literally birthed from here. So breathing into that area, and you feel like you're in there as much as you possibly can be, I'm going to ask you to open your eyes and keep your attention in your energy center. And then open your eyes as your attention is there. And I invite you to speak from there whatever wants to arise about how your day has been so far from your power center, allowing whatever wants to be expressed to come forth.
It's been a unique day, to say the least, because I believe today may be one of the first days when I've been able to take all of the puzzle pieces that I've been building, and I'm talking about 10 to 20 years worth of building, and start to snap them together so that I can truly see and perhaps even feel the experience of what that system is supposed to do to help people on planet Earth.
Beautiful, beautiful. Now I'm going to invite you to go ahead and sit back down if you'd like, if that's more comfortable. And I would like for you to share how you felt speaking from head
Mm,
and how you felt speaking from power center.
mm.
Was there a difference?
Oh, definitely a difference. Definitely a
Mhm.
difference, because I could feel very much in the head that it was a lot of logic and a lot of left brain activity, and just the
Mhm.
the to-do list. I mean, that in itself
Mhm.
is just very heavily all about thinking through things and analyzing and problem solving and all of
Exactly.
that.
And what was it like when you were speaking from your power center?
Well, the first thing that kept grabbing my attention was how much I was feeling. It was almost like pressure in my feet. So it was definitely, I could feel this huge difference between being out here and just having really landed and grounded. And then the speaking from the pelvic region is new to me. I've done some
Mhm.
work with like heart math kinds of stuff with working with the
Right.
heart,
So how
but
was this?
this was different too. I mean, it just felt lighter. It
Mhm.
felt definitely more right brain oriented, and just being able to see kind of a bigger picture rather than all those little individual things I was focused on.
Mhm. And how did it feel in your body when you were here versus in your power center? Did your body feel different?
Well, I definitely, because like I said, up here, I mean, I could feel the energy kind of swirling
Mhm.
here, and then moving all that energy down. It was just this incredible feeling of groundedness that I
Mhm.
don't live in a lot.
Mhm. And most people don't. Most people live like bobbleheads, those little things on sometimes on the dashboard of a car, the heads are
Yep.
bobbling. That's the way most people are living. They're but when we drop down into our body, into that power center, we're aligned with who we truly be. And when we speak from here, people can hear us that normally cannot, because we're energetic beings. And this is the energy of whatever you want to call that divine intelligence, the universal intelligence of us all.
Hmm.
And they can hear us. You can be seen more easily, your visibility increases. And with people that you just meet right in the moment, will trust you because you're coming from that authentic, grounded place of who you truly be.
Mm.
So
Interesting.
practicing this, I always invite people to practice this and play with this. Anytime you have two eyeballs on you, drop down before you speak.
Mm,
You're much more productive when you're here, and you're very clear.
very cool. So a question that comes to my mind is this form of communication only available to women?
Nope. For men, they do the same thing, but their power center is only a couple inches below the belly button. It's not as far down as women, but we both have those power centers, and that's where our true power is.
Mm,
It's a different consciousness than your heart space.
gotcha.
And you can work with both, of course, but starting grounded in your power center aligned with the divine, then you can connect your heart if you wish. But I invite people to start there, experiment, play with it, you know, drop home before you make a phone call, before you get on a Zoom, before you write an email, before you write a text. Drop there and then express from there.
Mm,
You will come across so much more clearly. So
love it.
that's part of what it is to be in your power. There's more to this, of course, but that is a very powerful way to begin.
Absolutely. No doubt about it. And I hope people will watch this and kind of play along too, because,
Definitely.
it feels good. I mean, for people who are possibly feeling really anxious and nervous about things, I mean, I could definitely feel emotions shifting with that as well to a more
Mhm.
calm state. And I'm assuming that is a normal part of the process.
That's where your peace is.
Hmm.
And I've had women come to little intros that I do and whatever, and I do this along with some other things. But I've had women call me the next day going, Maryann, you're not going to believe it. I just used this one thing, just what we did. My relationship with my husband is completely different. 24 hours later, we are communicating on a deeper level in ways we haven't ever.
Wow.
It's changed the whole dynamic. It's changed the dynamic of household within teenagers. One lady had two step teenagers. Whoops, are you still there?
I'm
Um,
here.
Okay, you're showing your a picture versus you. So there we go. Anyway, she had two stepchildren that they only had, at certain times, whatever. She started doing this. They started opening up to her and sharing and telling her things. They weren't doing that before.
Wow.
It
Wow.
created that safety because of who she was being.
Mm. Mm, mm, mm. So your work obviously has the ability to improve relationships.
Oh
I'm
yeah.
assuming it's also very relevant for people in business. I mean, what kind of changes in business have your clients seen?
One lady was a realtor. And she was, really afraid to be seen. She was kind of like, under wraps, whatever. Even though she was making six figures, she couldn't break into the seven-figure tier.
Mm,
She started doing this and a couple other things that I teach. No problem. She was sailing in
wow.
those seven figures in no time because she was confident within herself. No longer was there self-consciousness because
Wow.
you're in who you be, and she was right out there. So it has tremendous impact. Plus you're more productive because you're not just up in here, because the head doesn't know anything. All the head knows is things that you've put in it, and that's
Right.
past information.
Mm-hmm.
It's old strategies and everything, and you can't get to your future from there.
Right.
This
Right.
opens you to the field of all possibilities. You're in potential. And so you're in the highest possible frequencies, and you're receiving the information without the head in the way.
Wow. Wow. Lots of people would find it advantageous to work on being in that space.
Yeah, well, to me, if the world were communicating from here, it would look a lot different.
It would. It would. Absolutely. Wow. Well, I love what you're sharing. I'm so glad that you joined us today. Do you have any big visions for the future? Anything where, other people might have a role to play in working with you in some way?
A role to play in working with me. I'm not sure about that part. I mean, my vision, of course, would be for everyone to be speaking from here and to
Mm,
really be aware of their own personal energy and be managing it. If
mm.
they were doing that, we would have world peace.
Wow. Wow.
So that's a vision that I hold. I don't know about someone working with me per se,
Hmm.
but I would love to participate in things like retreats and this kind of thing, especially with women. I can do it with men, and I have. But
Hmm.
women need to really be expressing fully, and they often hold themselves back. Even
Yep.
if they're highly successful professional women, there's still areas where they hold back. We
Yeah.
often have set points, not just financial set points, but prosperity, but also joy set point. How
Mm,
much happiness will you allow yourself to have?
right.
And we hold ourselves back from fully having those experiences that we're meant to experience here.
Wow. I know that's a fact, and it is. There's so much from, very young in life that we're trying to, learn what the illusions are, I guess is a good way to put it, right? Those self-imposed limitations that we've created out of our own experiences. I love
Yes,
it.
and a lot of times from childhood, we have things that are stuck in our subconscious. I do a lot of subconscious
Mm-hmm.
release work in a
Mm-hmm.
very unique way. It was something that was, if you call it, downloaded to someone.
Mm-hmm.
And it's not something that you hear about most of the time, but it clears the subconscious and it does it permanently so
Nice.
that once we address it, it's gone.
That's beautiful.
Mhm.
Beautiful. Wow. Well, and I know that you come bearing some gifts and that there's ways that people can connect with you. So tell us a little bit about that.
Well, yeah, sure. I would love to have your audience experience a breakthrough, kind of like you didn't really have a huge breakthrough per se, but you had a noticing, and
Hmm.
you have something that you can use in your life to assist with your business, with your relationships, with all of this. So I'm offering a free breakthrough session. It could look different for different people because I'm in the moment. It's not just a cookie cutter. Okay, because it's a breakthrough session, we're doing this. You know,
Right.
I'm in the energy, we're seeing what's going on and where do they need the breakthrough?
Wow.
What's the most important thing now? And
Mm.
so you have a link that you can access in the notes to the video for a Calendly link where you can schedule a complimentary breakthrough session with me. There's no obligation or anything about this. I am here to serve. So
Yes.
if you would like to have an experience, just like Cheyenne had an experience, uh, of whatever it might be for you, please do click on that and schedule a time. And I would love to connect with you. And I think I put in, you can find me on Facebook, you can find me on LinkedIn, you can find me on Instagram. And you could also email me. I didn't give that, but it's just hessmaryann@gmail. I just flipped my name.
Hmm.
So it's easy if you have a
Yes.
question about something.
Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Well, thank you. I'm always so grateful when our guests come in and offer something where people can experience things because that's part of the challenge we're living on Earth right now. Is there's so much that's being developed that can kind of shorten our suffering, right? And
Oh,
yet
yeah.
people don't always know where to go to find it. So thank you for being here. Thank you
Thank
for
you.
offering these gifts to our listeners. And we thank all our change makers for listening in. And You can follow along with what I did with Maryann, or you can reach out to her and get your own session. I'm sure you're intuitive and you pick up on exactly what it is that somebody needs in that period of time. So
Absolutely.
thank you, thank you, thank you. And thank you all. We'll see you all in the next interview. Until then, have a fabulous day.
Bye bye. Thanks.